Before I begin, I just wanted to say that it has been a while since I last publicly spoke about Tibet. Some of you may remember that I made my first video about Tibet when I was around 11 or 12 years old, and then another when I was around 14 or 15. Today, I'm 17 years old, and I find myself returning once again to speak about an issue that has deeply impacted our community and touched my heart. Today, I speak not only as a Tibetan, but as a member of a people whose history, identity, and spirit have endured despite unimaginable hardship. Today, our hearts are heavy as we mourn the loss of Pawo Rangzen, a tireless advocate for the Tibetan cause whose unwavering dedication to justice and freedom inspired countless Tibetans and supporters around the globe. His passing has left our community in grief, reflection, and profound sorrow. Today, I'm not speaking as someone from Amdo. I am not speaking as someone from Uzang, and I am not speaking as someone from Kham. Today, I am speaking as a Tibetan, and today, my heart is heavy. The loss of Pawo Lobga Rangzen, a man whose dedication to the Tibetan cause touched countless lives around the world. His final message was not one of hatred. It was not one of division. It was a message of love for Tibet, of concern for our people, and of a deep fear that our language, our culture, our religion, and our identity are under threat. As Tibetans across the world gathered in prayer and remembrance, I found myself asking one question. Have we truly listened to what he was trying to tell us? Because his message was not only directed to the world, it was directed at us, the Tibetan people. He urged us to remain united. He pleaded with us to stop dividing ourselves. He reminded us that when we fight each other, we weaken the very cause we claim to love. And honestly, I have to ask, how can we allow ourselves to be divided when we do not even have the freedom to live in our own homeland as a free people? And how can we spend our time arguing over whether someone is Amdo, Uzang, or Kham when the world already sees us as one people? Our regional identities are beautiful. They're part of our history. They're part of our culture. They're part of what makes Tibet so rich and diverse. But they should never become walls between us. Because before we are Amdo, before we are Uzang, before we are Kham, we're Tibetan. One people, one history, one culture, one struggle. And perhaps the greatest tragedy of all is that sometimes we ourselves forget that. Today, I do not want us to remember only the pain of his loss. I want us to remember the message that was actually left behind. A message that says, do not give up. Do not forget who you are. Do not let our language disappear. Do not let our culture disappear. Do not let our identity disappear. And above all, do not let yourselves become divided. I also want to say this from the bottom of my heart. Every Tibetan life is precious. Every Tibetan voice matters. Our struggle has always been about preserving our people, our identity, and our future. The greatest way we can honor those we have lost is not by losing hope ourselves, but by continuing to live, to speak, to educate, to advocate, and to stand together. Because our voices matter. Our existence matters. Tibet matters. Pawo Lobga Rangzen is amongst more than 160 Tibetans who have died in acts of protest against the suffering and repression experienced by our people over many, many years. Their stories remind us of the depth of pain that exists within our community, but they also remind us of the depth of our responsibility. The responsibility to remember, the responsibility to speak, the responsibility to stay united. If there is one message that we carry forward from his life, let it be this. Let us remain united. Let us protect who we are. Let us never forget what it means to be Tibetan, and let us never stop striving for freedom. So today, I ask every Tibetan who hears my voice, please let us stop fighting each other. Let us stop creating divisions where there should be none. Let us stop forgetting that our greatest strength has always been our unity, because if we cannot stand together as Tibetans, then who will stand for Tibet? Let us honor those we have lost by protecting what they loved most. Our language, our culture, our religion, our identity, our people. The struggle for Tibet is not over and never will be. And as long as there are Tibetans who remember who they are, who refuse to be silent, and who refuse to be divided, the spirit of Tibet will never actually disappear. May we remember, may we remain united, may we protect our identity, and may we never stop hoping for a future where Tibet and the Tibetan people can live with dignity, freedom, and peace. Thank you.